And we are nearly, are we live? Are we live? Yes,
Yes.
we are live. Yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
there you go.
Sorry,
Well
keep
done.
going.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to Paddy and Pals. This is my pal Justin.
And this is my pal, Stephen. Okay.
Si, how are you tonight? Great. We've got a topic for tonight, and like last week, we really want you to enjoy and join in. He's touched that button again. I can't see anything. There we go. So we've got Ground Fog, Tony's Ponies. You're more than welcome. Hopefully more will come in now in a wee second.
Well, given that we're 2 minutes early.
2 minutes early.
I know nobody will have surprised everybody.
Randy WSG is in there. Well done, Randy. Yes, we've got a wee topic, but we'll wait for a few minutes. There's Gizmo in, EDC, Will Wilson.
Hi guys, how are you?
I have to say, Will got a really nice surprise after the last video we done when we were talking about our slips.
Oh yes,
my friend David makes for people.
Did he?
He picked William out of the comments, and he's making him a sheath for his new custom knife made from Dan.
Oh, excellent!
So that was really nice to hear. It was lovely. He's a really nice man. So he doesn't do it for money. He just does it normally for friends and that. But to go into our comments and pick somebody out, I thought that made it special for me.
Absolutely,
it was lovely. So well done, Will. You'll really enjoy it. The sheets are absolutely beautiful.
I can second that, David. Yeah. I mean, Stephen was kind enough to pass one of them on to me, and
he sent it to you.
Which was even better, and I just love it to bits. It's a fantastic fit, and it's a lovely little slip in the.
It'll probably be one like these. They're a fold over, but the stitch and everything in them is just amazing.
Does that one have the wee girl logo on it?
Yes, it has the wee girl logo. No, that one doesn't actually.
Is it the blue one that does?
No, I haven't got a big one with it on.
Where is that?
It's on the wee ones. Just I don't know where I think he's putting them on all now. But
yeah, no, I think the one I have has it on.
Did I give you the good one?
Yes, you did.
Damn it! I gave him the good one,
and he's not getting it.
But yeah, I'm blessed. I've got quite a few of his slips, so I'm very happy.
Absolutely fantastic.
So, how many have we got in now? 13. You're coming in, right, Lee? Dean P.
Randy, we've got Sean in. We've got MBEDC. Folks, good to see you.
Yeah.
How are you?
So this really is a join along. So I'm going to wait. We'll hit 20. If we hit 20, I'll start talking about it. So only 4 more to go. So if you're hanging on there in the background and you don't normally click into the question set, pop on over. It's really nice to join in. Just come on in and click the button.
We've got a topic that everybody can join in.
Every single person can join in tonight.
It's one of those things that I think it was a. I'm surprised I haven't done it before. It was inspirational, but at the same time, why haven't we done it before?
Yeah,
it's a really good little talk,
and it's one you can do often.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like once every 3 months you can really do it to keep that up. So that's maybe
assuming that you're buying knives and seeing as you promised not to buy any. I haven't
bought any. Still haven't. I am winning this bet. So man, I haven't bought a knife for
but have you looked
3 weeks?
Have you looked recently? Have you looked recently? I mean, because there was a lovely.
Have I looked? I look every day. I look every single day, and in every one of my little places that I go, I've got so many in the basket. And if I win the lottery, there'll be a lot of knives going.
Well, no, but I'm the same. I haven't bought any this month at all.
No,
I mean, it's simply because I got the little Bro last month, and then I got a new computer, a new laptop, and then a second-hand laptop, and then I thought, I've got to hold off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I spent quite a lot at the show as well. And then, I'll come back and I had to sell a few more to get another few. Yeah. But I have enough knives here to do reviews for the channel. Using the channel is becoming an excuse that I use to buy another knife. And in reality, I have so many knives I haven't even reviewed yet that I don't really. But it does become, your head fools you into thinking, I need another knife. And it doesn't matter how much money you've got, I'll find it from somewhere. So I usually sell something and go and buy something else. And so I've decided to have a month off. I've a couple of pounds coming in January, and I want to save up, if I can, a wee bit before then. And then I want to buy a knife that's in the 200 plus mark, because I don't get to buy. They're special to me.
So those are the ones you save up for?
Yeah, these are the ones that I'm saving up for another one. I don't even know what it is yet, and lots of cheap ones would want. But yeah, I want to have the money sitting there in January when people are skint and they want to sell their good knives.
So you're exploiting the poor people.
Their post has been up for 3 weeks, so I think Now's the time.
In, stab them, get
Yes.
them, get that,
Because sometimes-
gouge those prices. That's the word.
Sometimes that's the only way I can afford to do it. But again,
I
it's
suppose
that chase.
how what goes around comes around, because I mean,
Yeah.
every now and again, somebody will get you in a moment of weakness.
Absolutely,
So-
and especially I hate it when it's somebody who I like, and then I have to say
Yeah.
less than what I really want to.
Yeah,
But-
I no longer fall into that category because he can't stand me now.
Oh well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
not-
you can't have everything.
he's-
Stephen.
no. Looks and charity is not two things I have in one. I've got the looks, the charity I'm working on.
I've got
20, there
Mikey
you go.
Newman's in as well.
Mikey
Look at
Newman.
that.
Oh, great to see him. And he's going to come on the show very shortly.
That's who it was.
It was Mikey Newman and
Randy, was it?
Randy is
Yeah,
going to come in very shortly. I'm going to contact Randy probably tomorrow. Randy, I'll send you a wee thing and we'll sort out a deal. Once we get you sorted out, then we'll get Mikey Newman sorted out.
We may as well put it out here that okay. So we've been talking about who we're going to get on the show next. So we mentioned getting Slippy and TK on the
Yes.
show, and we're definitely going to get them on either
I would like next week
to do Mikey and Randy.
No, to do Slippy and what do you call it?
TK.
And
And what do you call it? What do you call it? Is that how you refer to him?
but who?
TK.
Yeah, silly call him. What do we call him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your fudging man? What's your
No,
John will be
John-
more than
that's that
welcome.
fella, yeah.
Yes.
John. Hiya, John. Are you new?
So we'll get the word out to them. So hopefully next week we'll get TK and Slippy on,
Yeah, and then maybe if we can get Randy, it just depends
Randy,
because of
Mikey,
the
depending
time
on what.
on work for Mikey and that. But
Yeah.
I'll contact you both tomorrow and we'll
see
get
what
that sorted out.
Suits.
It's I like to have a couple of scruffy ones on before the end of the year.
Oh no, just to
And
make
then-
us look good, if nothing else.
I'm only joking. There's Ghost Malone in,
There's-
as I see.
He is indeed.
He is
Ghost
indeed.
Malone. Or
And,
no, what we've got is Jason. Yes, haven't spent on a knife in ages. Nothing's getting you going. Well, maybe we can change that tonight.
I
You
think
never
we
know.
can. Yeah, I think we can. I definitely think we can. Well, I know my three. Have you got your three?
Oh, I've got my three.
You've got your
Don't worry.
three. Well, don't even check now because 9 times out of 10, although we're similar in a lot of our likes, we've got different knives,
We do.
which is
we do.
amazing because you don't want to sit with two people with the exact same box of
This
knives.
is very true.
Um,
And Jason, I'm
Joe from Messer HQ's in. You're very welcome, Joe.
I'm
Real
not
nice
sure
see
to
you.
be disappointed for you that you didn't get the little bro.
Crispy Critters in. Hello, mate.
All I'm
Dog
saying,
treat.
mate. All I'm saying, little bro.
Yeah, I have
Now,
to say.
this is season 1 as opposed to season 2, but still
It's
absolutely
a beautiful
fantastic
knife,
knife.
isn't it?
Couldn't recommend it highly enough. Or admire you for your self-control. I'm not sure which way I'm going, but I'm sure we'll get some commentary in the chat box just to.
Jason, be honest, you just forgot, didn't you?
No, we didn't. His wife took his pocketbook off and that's what it was, or didn't give him his pocket
Terry's
money.
Knives and Man Stuff, you're really welcome, mate. And Don C, you're very welcome. Crispy Critter, you're welcome. My goodness, it's actually here.
Oh, look
Great.
at this. Don C's been buying like mad.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, many
Two-
praxis,
two
2
otters,
Ottermaster, a
big
G49 and a Finch Holiday.
My goodness.
Very
Very
nice.
good. That's a nice household this week, isn't it? That's a smiley
That's it.
household.
That's either DIVORCE or
Happy man.
how a happy man.
Look, both of them.
Both
could
of
be
them
the same.
could go either way. It
Yeah,
has
it
to be
could go
said.
either way.
It has to be said.
So now, what are we going to talk about? Let's tell them what we're going to talk about. Well, yeah, you
Yes.
go.
No,
you
you go. Well, the way you phrased it to me was, give me pick out 3 knives that have surprised you.
Yeah, and that's something that often happens a lot during the year, and that's why I think this could either do it quarterly or half yearly.
Yeah, exactly.
Do a
Every now and
return
then,
to
that's
it.
your-
But knives that you've bought because you wanted them, but when you got them, they really surprised you,
either in terms of the quality or the use you got out of them, or
they weren't as good as you wanted.
they
So
were-
you
it
can
could
have
go either
both.
way,
You
absolutely.
can have both.
Yeah.
They either weren't as good as what the hype was, because the hype is such a big thing in the knife world at the minute, because we're so spoiled for choice in any price range you want. Any price range you're spoiled for choice.
Very true.
And getting something that's not up to the hype can be very disappointing.
Mhm.
So I personally haven't got one here at the minute that has got that's got bad connotations.
Yeah.
These ones are all surprised me because wow.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
really
exactly. It's
yeah.
something that is always. Yeah, no, I'm the same. I've got
Mhm.
3 that have surprised me in a good way. But there is an interesting little commentary on it, and it was something I was thinking about this before we started, was because as everybody knows, and as I say every flipping live, I'm a sack man. But here's the truth about Victorinox Swiss Army knives.
Yep.
They don't surprise me.
No,
because they're just so friggin' good.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's a fit and finish thing.
Yeah, and I mean, and you just expect a certain quality, and more to the point, you always know what you're going to get. So surprise is the wrong thing. I'm always delighted with my Swiss Army knives. I have to say that, except for the specials, the odd special we get from Dan. You know,
yeah.
And I mean, but no, rarely do Swiss Army knives surprise me.
The other thing that you can also say, for my side of it, because I get Jack Wolf knives every month, Jack Wolf knives, here's a surprise, I find them the hardest knife on YouTube that I get, or that I show on my channel, to review. Because it's just, this is flipping brilliant, that's brilliant, here's what's good about this, that's what's good about this. Even when I don't like them, I can't run the fit and finish down. No, the style, nobody's ever going to like every style of knife from one company, and it'd be wrong to lie.
Yeah,
but it's so hard to review even a bad one, because
so has it become almost boring?
It's not boring, because I find it amazing that you can get like that. But
you still get really excited.
And that's genuine excitement. But this month I done it a wee bit different, where I put it alongside other knives, and I think that's the way I'm going to do it in the future, because it's like I do the step from basic up to the Jack Wolf, and that's what my collection of traditional or modern traditionals are. It's, I love from the basic right up to the top. So doing that mix, this is like this, there's a big difference in it, but sort of showing the differences, because sadly, sometimes when you spend a lot of money, it's worth it.
Yes.
And that is the truth. Sometimes it's not, and that is also the truth. But with Jack Wolf knives, to me, before people used to say, but you get them for nothing. And I know now in my heart that when I get one, what I'm telling you, this knife is fantastic. This knife is fantastic. As far as fit and finish goes, if you don't like the pattern, I can't change that. But
well, shall we kick this off?
Yeah.
Because there's a natural segue into this. One of mine is a Jack Wolf knife.
Do you know, I was hoping you'd do that, because I purposely didn't pick it, hoping you would.
Yeah, and I did. And the one I am going to choose, and this is going to be my first knife, and the one I'm going to choose is going to surprise Stephen, because he didn't like it. And it surprised me, because I still wasn't 100% sure.
And I'm going to tell you, I probably changed my mind. I've just seen the butt.
Yeah, and we'll get straight into it. And it's the Feel Good Jack. And I swear to God, I mean, this is effectively a doctor's knife in a ram's foot pattern. So it was a beautiful take on it. The carbon fiber on it is absolutely gorgeous. What one was this? Was this?
Let's see,
Snowstorm or
something
like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's absolutely gorgeous carbon fiber. The usual fit and finish. We don't need to go into that. But Stephen wanted to pass this one on to me, because it was one of those that he just couldn't connect with.
And do you know why I couldn't? It's because it's like a doctor's knife, but this is not a doctor's knife. This is a modern interpretation of a doctor's knife. And exactly, I couldn't get the doctor's knife out of my head.
Yeah, and I mean, I got it because I think this was my third. This was my third, maybe. Yeah, this was my third Jack Wolf, and he got me in a moment of weakness. And he also got me at a moment where I'd just been paid, I think, which always makes a difference. And I mean, because you have to remember that while Stephen gets these free, I choose to spend my money on these. Now,
and that's the good thing. Yeah,
and I mean these even at the I mean, he gouges me terribly for these in terms of pricing charges. But they're still a little bit cheaper than I'd have to pay if it was going to Fremar knives.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. You can't gouge anybody else if it's telling the truth. And more to the point, I mean, my wife hadn't found out that I've remortgaged the house to actually pay for this, so it's not too bad. But the thing that surprised me about it was I wasn't 100% sure. Now, you know the way peer pressure works. It's kind of. And especially if you're getting peer pressure from somebody who's allegedly an expert and stuff, I take your opinion very seriously. Okay. No.
So-
You do. I mean, a lot of guys out there take your opinion very seriously. So when you turn around and say that you don't automatically like a knife, that impacts or influences the way that you feel about certain things. So I had to grow into this, but I have to say that I find this is a perfect office knife. I work in an office every day.
Exactly.
And see, as an everyday carry for somebody who wears a suit or a pair of casual trousers, that you want to slip a little knife in, apart from anything else, that doesn't look, I mean, as we always say, all that threatening, although I have to say, I mean, I think it's just a lethal looking knife. I think it's a gorgeous looking thing. But see, in hand and in use, and I mean, this is the S90V one as well, which makes it a little bit special because this is my first S90V. I just think it's fantastic.
There's an original office knife, right?
Yeah.
And rather than thinking of that as a doctor's knife, in use, it's more an office knife to me. Opening letters, it's a long, thin blade, slips in anything.
That's a good idea.
It's perfect, you know, and cardboard cutting, perfect.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Especially with the geometry on them. So, yeah, I think to go back, I was actually on the internet the other night. You were asking earlier, do I not look? I was nearly going to buy one that was on the internet.
There was one on sale. Actually, I think I saw that.
I was nearly going to buy it.
Well, you're not getting this one back, that's for sure. So that was my first surprise. It was a knife that I wasn't 100% sure of because it didn't feel like a full blown pocket knife.
Yeah.
But when I had it in hand and when I used it, when I carried it, it's a beautiful little pocket dropper. It really is, and it just works beautifully in terms of what it is. So that's my first one. Jack Wolf.
Do you know another thing about more expensive knives? Because they cost so much, to most of us it's a lot of money. I mean, especially £275 is a lot of money to me, very much so. And I do buy knives at that price. And when I buy them at that price, I have to really like them before I get them in hand. And hopefully that's going to be enough to carry into the knife. But sometimes it just doesn't. But now that this is, and with that one there, that is one that I regret, that I hope they're going to do that again because I really want it. The other one was the Vampire Jack.
Yeah.
You know, it was a nice knife. I couldn't think anything wrong with it. Didn't sit with my eye. As soon as I gave it to you at it, I wanted it. And I've got it now, and it's going. This is another one that just completely changed my mind on that shape, the double swell center, the balloon center, and the coffin jack edges. This is just, this is one of my favorite knives for working. It's an all-rounder, a real all-rounder. Rather than that being an office knife, this is the all-rounder.
Do you know the only thing that keeps me from putting that in my pocket, and I put that in my pocket more often than not, because I love the Vampire, is the dagger blade on it can be a wee bit,
because
if you're using it in out amongst other people, you know,
it's gone beyond the spear point. It is a dagger looking blade. Yes,
I think it could be considered.
Could be.
So it's one of those ones. Yeah, but that one, perfect.
I mean, I would leave that sitting on my desk because that's pretty. You know, it's got the beautiful carbon fiber.
I've handed that to people to cut an apple or whatever else, you know, or you know, it was hilarious.
Never hand my Jack Wolf to anybody.
No, it was really funny though, because I was at work today. I was working with a colleague called Mary. We were teaching on a course, and we'd stop for coffee. So I'd gone down to get us scones and whatever else, and brought back. And of course, what did I do? I forgot to bring a butter knife with me. So she looked at me with disgust and said, "What am I supposed to do with this?" Pointing to the scone, whatever pronunciation floats your boat in particular, it's the proper pronunciation, scone. And she says, "What am I going to do with that?" And of course, I just went, "There you go," and handed her my little bro. It was like a laser through it, and she looked.
You could imagine somebody's face.
Can you imagine? But the face of her was hilarious. But I won't go through the whole thing because it was a little bit. Why do you carry that, Justin? I mean, don't you feel safe or something if you're not carrying it? I went, what's safety got to do with it? To cut a scone, you know, it's got nothing to do with it. But at the end of it, I actually showed her the podcast, and she couldn't believe that there were guys like you lot out there. It was hilarious. It was a revelation to her. So she's going home to tell her husband. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Well, I love the fact like Will, who was at the show. I mean, Will, when he first got them in his hand, because I was showing them around everybody at our table that was anybody would look at them, I was showing them. But I mean, when Will got it in his hand and he went, "Oh God, I've got to have one of them. I'll never be able to afford one of them." I says, "You don't know till you ask." And I managed it with Will. I'm not going to do this to everybody in there, but I mean, he was just showing me, he kept talking about it. I said, "Well, why don't you just give it to me and pay me in installments or whatever? And then you can get it, because that's the best way to get it. If you can't afford it, pay a month, 2 months." So we'd settled on that, and Will got his first Jack Wolf knife after 2 months after the show, and he was I've never seen anybody so excited, and that makes it. And I give it at a good price. I didn't charge him anywhere near full price for it.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah.
No, not full price, but we'll be paying for the next 10 years.
But he's already again. He wanted another one, and he.
It starts. That's how
Yeah,
it starts.
it starts. But now he's set. If that's a bit longer, he's not paying for it till January. He's going to save up and pay. When he gets his bonus, he can put it away. But isn't that lovely to be able to do that?
Yeah.
And getting the chance to do that, I think that pleases me. That somebody's going to get a knife that otherwise, to be blunt, I mean, they don't even want to save up that much. They'll get halfway there and then buy something that's half the price.
But I was saying to Mary what price they were, and she just, her eyebrows nearly went through the top of her head. So I mean, but I just said to her, but it's like, how much do you spend on shoes, Mary?
Exactly.
How much do you spend on jewelry, earrings? And it's exactly the same kind of principle. I mean, you can pay an awful lot of money for these things. You don't have to, but you can. And I mean, if we come back to the topic of a wee knife that surprised me, I have to say that I love this wee thing, and I think it's a glorious example of a surprising knife.
It really
What
is.
have you got for us, Steve?
Well, yeah, I'm going to start off with one of the most, well, not most inexpensive, but an inexpensive knife that really surprised me. And probably not, in fact, while I'm doing this, can you put down in the comments knives that have surprised you either way, good or bad? Put them down and we'll sort of talk to them as we're doing my knife, because it's more important that I see your knives. So this is it, the Rosecraft, and this is their kayak, and this is the oddest shaped little knife. Its handle and blade ratio is terrible, and I absolutely adore it, because it's most of the times you get small knives with a blade that's only about 2 inches long and maybe 2.5 inches fully, but most of the times they've got a short handle, so you're down to 3 fingers. This is just a little box cutter, but it gives you a full handle. Yeah. I can get 4 fingers on there comfortably and work all day. It's as comfortable as you like. And this surprised me so much, because the first knives I got from them were all sort of full-size knives, the Barlow's, the jackknife, the other one, the French jack, what do you call it?
Oh God, what do you call that?
Whatever.
Yes.
But all the knives I got from them were full-size and very traditional looking. And this one just came out of the blue, and it had such a design. I love this design. I love the design of the blade for box cutting, because you're already there. You're already down on top of it before you notice. You know what I mean? And it slices beautifully. It's in D2, lovely. And now, when I say lovely behind the edge, compared to a Jack Wolf knife, it's not near that, but it doesn't need to be near that for just a box cutter. No knife needs to be. That's the joy of that knife. That's a not needed, but by God, it's lovely to have.
Oh,
it.
Absolutely. And I mean, you can't just describe it as just a box cutter.
No, it's not.
Finish on that. It's just outstanding.
It's absolutely amazing. And you'll hear more from me about Rosecraft very, very shortly. But this one just surprised me that I loved the shapes, because so many people didn't like it. But it was one of those.
We know who they are. And I mean, if we say their name 3 times, they'll appear. So
yeah. It's I'm sorry, I was reading the comment. They're still waiting on Heine to get the Appaloosa jack. Yeah. In fact, you're probably, if you go to what's that other company? No, it's no. Cycler.
Are they doing?
If you go to Cycler, they're doing Rosecraft blades. I'm not sure which ones they have in at the minute, but they're hopefully going to renew them, because they're selling them well. Go to Cycler Knives and check on there. I'll check for you while we're talk to them here. Yeah. Talk to them about how much you like it.
Well, apart from anything else, Yes, Ghost, about bloody time. You've been going on about the farmer for about a month now, for crying out loud. I cannot tell you how many times I've looked at a farmer just because I'm fed up listening to you talk about it and thinking about sending it over to you, but I couldn't. Honestly, I couldn't find one. I don't know where they've all gone. So I'm absolutely delighted that you found one. That's brilliant, brilliant. You'll like it in hand. I don't think it will take away from your ask, but I think you'll like the farmer. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. What it will do for you though, if Dan ever comes up with a coloured Allox farmer, we'll see about holding it over for you, because I think it would be nice, given that you've been so passionate about it. But the Rosecrans, I just think this is a cracking wee knife. And you know what I feel about unusual shaped blades.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got the result. I've just been on. They sell quite a lot of their flipper knives and all that, Cycler, but the traditional knives we got at the minute, they really have had a battering. They have this one, the French Broadjack. They have that one.
They have the Beaver Creek Barlow.
No, they don't.
It's out of stock.
Yeah, it's out of stock. The two Barlows are the Jack is out of stock, but hopefully they're going to get them in again.
And they have this,
and it's got sign up now if you want to get one kept for you when it comes in. They've got that knife, and they have the Riverbend Skinner. They have the
one with
the Zambezi with got the big forward choil,
finger choil in it.
That's the only slip joints, but there's other ones here. I like the look of that one.
It's sort of the modern big spear.
Yeah, it's a modern, and like this is £32. It's lovely, but it's got I think it's a liner lock on it, but it's a real nice sort of modern pen knife,
modern take on
it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, worth definitely going and seeing them, and their prices are very, very good. So, I mean, when you can buy a knife with D2,
isn't it Andy at Rosecraft?
Andy, yes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting him on the podcast.
Yes, yeah, and I think he's going to do it as soon as Tiny, I think,
get their act together.
I don't know whether it's them. It's the post. I think it's the post. Yeah, post and customs. So hopefully that'll not be too long.
But yeah, that I agree with you, Stephen. That's a cracking wee knife.
And it just surprised me, and I don't know why it surprised me, which is the surprise, because the first ones that got off them were absolutely. I mean, I couldn't believe the quality you're getting for 50. Between sort of 50 and 60 is that sort of price. But just fabulous knives, and that really, really surprised me. So anybody else got a surprise up there for us? I haven't seen one now.
No, they're talking mostly about the Rosecraft. Go ahead, guys, and get some of your own surprises into the comments for me.
You got another one there. Well, let's give them a G up.
I do. Shall we go a wee bit weird?
Go a wee bit weird. I like weird. I've got you.
Now, you know when I've always said that I don't particularly like titanium, all titanium. Okay, well, this is my one of this knife surprised the hell out of me, and because I mean getting it, I got it as a special edition titanium. Now it looks at first glance like a Chris Reeve knockoff. Okay. But this is a Land 810 or 820 by San Renmu, and it's a cracking knife.
This knife has been out for a long time. I mean, I've had a few of these. I haven't had the titanium, but I've had the metal and I've had the G10.
Yeah,
and they're just amazing.
But this is in VG10 as well, as opposed to the 12C28.
Very good.
28N.
VG10.
Oh, is that the way it works?
But San Renmu are a good company. There's a good chance
that it is.
They're a good company, and this is not made out. Well, it's made. It's in that. It looks like a Chris Reeve Sabenza, small Sabenza, but
I mean it's just a cracking wee knife in its own right. I mean, when I bought it, I didn't even know what a Chris Reeve was.
No, I was the same when I bought it. I had no idea.
And the 820, now the 910, which is the other one I had two of them. I gave one away not so long ago. The 910 is a cracking knife. It's a big, beefy 12C28N. Good knife for just beating the hell out of. I think we took it down the woods that day, and put it through some paces.
But the grind in general on them knives are superb.
And I mean,
for a budget knife,
the action on this, because this is running on bearings and this, and it's just out of this world. This was a special edition one that they did. So I spent about 50 quid on this, which for a Chinese knife, you know, at the
VG10
time,
and
but VG10 and
titanium,
titanium, I mean,
no brainer.
not a problem. And I have to say, it's just perfect for me. It's the perfect size. It's a wee bit smaller than the 910, which is big, bulky knife,
Yeah,
heavy in the pocket. This is lovely in the pocket, and it is just the blade shape is outstanding, and the quality of the steel is good. The quality of the titanium, the fit and finish is nothing
it's
ordinary.
outstanding.
It really is. And I mean, I don't know. I don't even know if you can get these anymore because it was about 2-3 years ago I got this.
Yeah.
But
Well, you can go on the San Remo site in China and
check it out.
They usually have them things going for years. So,
but it's just a cracking wee knife, and it also, I suppose, I mean, I may get a Chris Reeve at some point in my knife collecting career, but it's nice to get a sort of feel for it on the cheap in terms of whether or not you would like that kind of thing. But you know, it's just a beautiful knife. I think it's really nice. The other thing that I did was when we all went down that rabbit hole of sharpening at 15 degrees.
yeah,
I did it on this, and this thing would cut through anything now. It's nothing ordinary.
I've come back up again from 15.
Yeah, I think 15 is too much.
It is if you're having an ornamental knife that you're going to cut paper.
Yeah.
But I've gone up, and I haven't gone up a whole lot because the 15 I found out that the edge retention was still really good, but I've gone up to 17 now. Or somewhere roughly around
the Spidey kind of angles, yeah.
When I'm freehand sharpening, it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm not great at judging, you know, I can get fairly close to it. But I would say I'm more back to the 17 now, which I really enjoy.
But that, I mean, it's not a nice wee knife.
It's a beautiful knife.
I think it's a cracker.
And it's not a clone because it's not like a...
No.
In shape and silhouette, maybe, but in reality,
let's call it an homage.
A homage,
yeah.
Absolutely. And what's wrong with having a homage?
No, absolutely.
I mean, how many painters copied Monet?
Yeah. Oh God, we're getting all highbrow. So anyway, there's my second surprise, and I thought it was nice just to go a wee bit off piste and put a locker up there because it was a lovely.
Make them an S30V now.
You are kidding me. You are kidding me. Almost
Joe,
up. Wow,
that's worth a look.
I just think it's a lovely wee knife to have. For me, from size wise, I think it's perfect. Now I don't carry it an awful lot because it's a locker, but it's lovely now, and it's a lovely fidget knife as well. It really is.
Yeah,
it pops out.
And when you get something like that that costs you 50 quid, when you realize what 50 quid is in the knife world, that's a hell of a bargain.
Oh, absolutely. I can't say fairer than that. So that's number 2 for me.
Great. Anybody else got one up?
We've got. Apparently, they also do a milled TI clip for $10. Makes it so much better.
Yeah, that would be nice on that.
Right, Master HQ, thank you for that. I will have to have a look. And I just got rid of my my AliExpress app off my phone. I'm going to have to get it back.
Try out the ASP Hedgehog. Where's that one?
QSP Hedgehog and JTI. Fantastic knife in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Hedgehog was a surprise.
And that was the jig titanium one was very thin.
Yes.
They cut the thickness of the...
So they cut the handle right
down.
down.
I think it was very, very thin compared to what the Hedgehog was.
Yeah,
I mean, it was not that it was a fat knife, but I think it was I think on Lefty's show he done a review on the Hedgehog, and it was really thin. So that would be even better because it's deep enough. You can take a thinner handle when it's deep,
but it becomes an even better fit in the pocket when it's like that. But the Hedgehog was a great knife. Yours went, didn't it? Didn't you? Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. And it's a fantastic knife. It was a great bargain, but just at that price range, you have to keep moving.
Yeah,
because otherwise you're just reviewing the same sort of thing over and over. So I do like to keep the channel more up to a little bit more up to date. I mean, what have I got now that would replace the Hedgehog? I'll tell you what I've got that would be my replacement for the Hedgehog.
Yeah, the Vostede Raccoon.
Yeah, the Vostede Raccoon.
I saw that one coming.
It is a beautiful knife, really lovely knife in the green micarta. Nice pocket clip, not fully deep, but it's deep enough. Beautiful, and the button lock is absolutely beautiful on it. So that's the sort of thing I would do in my channel. Like, you keep moving on. I need to buy another one now for next year.
Yeah.
But that will you're giving away all my secrets now.
I'm getting.
Well, I can't blame Randy. Randy's a guest.
I'll stop pulling nails out then and torturing you to get an answer. Once I get him started, he won't shut up. So we've got a couple of options here. So yeah, Emma saying that the Eyewitness Barlow is always a winner. It's just a lovely wee knife.
It really is, and it brings me on. There's something I was going to talk about tonight. Black Friday. If you go on Twisted Assisted, they have the Arthur Wrights, the clip point, and they have a lamb's foot, but they're in micarta. This one's in natural micarta, and this one's in. It's very hard to get it on this camera.
There you go.
This one's in the what do you call that?
Micarta.
Burlap micarta. But they have this in burlap micarta as well. So if you go on to Twisted Assisted, they are doing Black Friday, as is Rosecraft over in America. And when you get the discount over in America, it goes towards your shipping over here. So if you can't get one here, they do ship here. They're quite happy to ship here. That Barlow, whoever it was I was talking to, I've forgotten. If you really wanted the Barlow, either of these two Barlows, they have them on their site, and you can get them shipped over here. And the discount you get will come off the. They're worth it. They're worth the price, no matter what.
Absolutely. Shelley's got to get another JWK, the Cyborg, but that didn't just surprise you, Chelsea. That surprised everybody at the time.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth a mention at the moment, because when we were talking to Donnie, I get a feel for what the next knife is going to be,
There's the
and whether
Cyborg.
or not it was going to be another surprise release like the Cyborg.
The Cyborg, and yeah, it's because it was different. It was new. It was a design straight from Ben.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is funny. When people design a knife and they put it out there, if somebody sees one little thing that looks like another, ripped that off.
Just
for goodness sake, how many knives are out there? How many times can you get a cutting edge on a bit of stick and call it the same? I mean,
cutting edge on a bit of stick. I like that definition.
I mean, you just. This is beautiful. Was a completely new design. Yes, there's hints of maybe 2 or 3 knives, but it's not them. This is Ben's design, and I love it for that. An absolute just keeper.
But in terms of the way they handled the release of it and everything, it was a big surprise. There was a real.
That was the first big surprise you got, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it was so different. We've got another option here, and it's funny because we were talking about Etrix not so long ago that you were thinking that it might be worth having
getting one for the collection. Yeah.
You're still debating that because you're not sure about.
I don't like the shape, and I'll probably never use it. But I think because I like my British knives, and that's a real old British pattern.
It really is.
I'll probably just get one for the channel.
Yeah, but I mean, and speaking of that, I mean, have you shown Beth's?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Well, you can announce the surprise. What's to come this week, though?
Okay. So I can.
You can announce the surprise, and we'll show it now. You can show it now.
I would be absolutely delighted to. Right?
Well, you can do that
if I could remember what the surprise was. So there you go.
This is again not one of my favorite patterns, but this was. I'll let you tell.
So. Do you remember when we had Ashley Harrison's apprentice Beth on the show? And I mean, it must have been about 6 months ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, it would be 6 months, yeah.
And what we said to Beth was that we would be delighted to get a hold of one of her first journeyman come.
I think these are the knives that you had to make one of each for the prove that she could do it. Yeah, she made them from start to finish.
Can I show it then?
Yeah, you can have that. There
you go. And I mean, just because we're talking about Etrix now, this isn't an Etrix; it's a peach printer. But I mean, the shape and the conformation is very similar. Now, isn't that a beautiful knife?
It's an olive wood. That is just
look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's Beth's stamp up there on the blade.
I'll be doing a video
just above.
I'll be doing a video on probably Monday about it, and we'll up close to see it.
And I mean, we were absolutely delighted that she'd got this far, and that she was generous enough to send us one of these through, because we just think it's fantastic.
And I've ordered 2, one for each me and Justin. When she starts making them a bit more, we're going to get 2 of the first ones that she's selling. Now this was sale. I paid for this, but I'm just it's so lovely, and I'll talk more about it when I do an review. But that's the first time anybody has seen it, and I'm glad you were the one that had to do it.
I just think
beautiful.
it's a thing of beauty. It really is. So I mean, I'm sure everybody out there is going to be delighted for Beth's success, if nothing else.
Very much.
We hope to see an awful lot more of her products coming out there. See, as soon as she gets going doing customs, Ashley's going to be blown out of the water anyway, because I mean nobody's going to be interested anymore. But I mean, what are you going to do? So a couple more surprises. One that surprised me, one that surprised Sean, was the Heli Hand Reel Steel Atlantic. Fantastic knife at a super low price. And
I think I've seen that. What's that?
So it's another one of those. The Heli Hansen Super Steels they're like the, oh god, what do you call them? The Atlas ones that Boker and some of the other ones. You know, they're just the stainless steel wafers round the big spear point.
Oh yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, well, no, it's in the front room. I've got one in the front room that I use with the scissors. I got one with the scissors.
It's similar, but they were all done in sort of, it looked like stamped stainless steel, and it was a really stylish knife. Again, for me, it sort of landed cold with me, because it was another one of those nothing but metal kind of knives that usually the response is
quite a good. I would have thought quite a good office knife. Because the scissors are quite good on it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I think it's just a single blade on these.
You can get them with a single blade, but you can
these ones were single bladed, but the value on them was nothing ordinary.
It's just.
Were they 12C28N?
The original ones were. So I would have thought they would have been.
And so it was. It's always nice to get a lovely wee surprise.
See, people. Like there's another thing while I'm going to knock blade steels. People keep saying 12C27. Why would you want that when you can get 14C28? Let me tell you just
the numbers right.
Yeah. Let me just tell you a little difference between the 12C27 and the 14C28. Next to nothing. That's the difference. There's next to nothing. The edge retention on the 14C28 is longer than what's on the 12C27, but the 12C27 that's on them is perfectly good for office jobs. For it's just a beautiful steel, very small grain steel, so you get that real stability. If you did want to push it through something or whatever, you get a very stable, strong, tough edge on them. So but there's not that much. Once you go up to, it's like, I would say it's probably like 440A and 440C, but step them up a wee notch.
Yeah.
Step the 12C in between the 440A and the 440C, and the 14C28N is like a VG10.
Yeah.
So that's where I would put them, but both perfectly capable of doing 95% of anybody's jobs. Do you know what I mean? So sorry, I just thought I would throw that in there.
And we got another one with Civivi Mini Praxis. Well, I'm a sucker for a Civivi knife. I can't picture the Praxis.
The Praxis had the sort of more of a leaf shaped blade. It was the original knife. Was there? The big Praxis was one of the original knives that were $30-something, $32 or something. Yeah. And they're still making them now, and different. They're getting the handles and the blades are getting more upgraded. Yeah.
Very nice.
But you got the mini Benchmade this year, the 945.
That was a crack.
And I love the 940, and it would never change, sadly. But because that one in use, that one's just perfect.
Well, absolutely. And it's another one that just fits. It slips in your pocket. Just nice
it's a perfect size.
Yeah.
In fact, nearly exactly the same size as your steel one there.
Yeah,
I would say it's very close.
I'd say it's even slightly smaller and lighter because it's the aluminium handles, and it does have the blue liners, but it's lovely. So we've got Byron in. We've got a number of other people. Good to see you. Do you? So, it's Thanksgiving. I forgot about that, Byron.
Happy Thanksgiving.
So just waiting for the turkey to finish on the grill, and then 30 of our 30 people sitting down to eat. Well, God bless you, everyone. That'll be a fantastic meal. One hand on the phone, one hand on the tongues, and one hand on the suds. That's the way to have dinner. Absolutely fantastic.
So in our wee apartment tonight, we had 5 adults and 4 grandchildren. Well, 5 of them, 5 grandchildren, because one of them is an adult. But all sitting around our wee tiny flat for tea tonight, which was lovely.
Ooh, what else have we got in terms of surprises? Well, I tell you what, let's go to your second one, shall we?
Yes, we've got to. Somebody has sent me a link, and I'm just going to. I'm saying somebody. Joe has just sent me the link.
Oh, the A12S. Ooh,
Right.
it's S35A. 67, 61 quid.
That's for nothing. Right, I'm going to show you my knife while he's staring at that, and he's going to break before I am. He's going to buy that knife. No, I don't think he will, but you never know. It could.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the TI clip that that was recommended there. Definitely.
That was it. Thanks, Joe, very much for doing that. Appreciate it.
That's brilliant.
That was Joe from Messer
HQ.
HQ. That HQ
Excellent.
was hard to get out. That was very nice of you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to do this one now. Is before this last year approached, I really wasn't into multi-bladed knives. I had some that I had in my collection. One that I really liked was one of my favorite knives from GEC. But, you know, even a Stockman, I was pushed to really like them, to be honest with you. Not that I didn't like carrying them. I have changed so much. I now have 4-bladed, nay, I have a 5-bladed knife now, and I think it's amazing. Do I carry it much? No. But if I was carrying it, I would put it on a side slip.
Yeah.
If I was going somewhere and I wanted to show off, and this is my case sow belly. It's a 5-bladed sow belly with a lovely case insignia on there. If you can see it, it's just, and the color of this is like a real pink. It's just pink. I can't give it another color.
It's not. It's sort of a rose. It's definitely.
It's a man's pink. That's what it is. It's a man's pink, and it's got 5 blades. I'm going to try and get these all out for you because look at that lovely big clip.
Can you start taking bets on which blade actually?
Yeah, Randy's in here with his scud on it.
This is where it goes wrong.
Oh, mama.
No,
that's
don't,
tight.
Stephen.
Oh, that's tight.
Don't do it, Stephen.
Man. There you go.
Oh, nice job.
There's 5 blades on it. They're all different, which is lovely. I just found this knife amazing.
It was hard to resist.
It was. I got this at the show from the gentleman of the Sharp Show, who sadly passed away about 2 weeks after the Sharp Show.
Robert Cuttings.
Robert Cuttings. So sympathies to his family and anybody who knew him. What a lovely gentleman. It was the first time we'd met him.
I know.
And he entrusted all of us, our crowd. He let us go behind in all his boxes. You spent about 2 hours in there.
I know. And he kept on coming back.
He had so many brand new in-box, old stock case knives. Just to just spend, and he kept holding them up. So people were just buying them.
Yeah.
But he sold them in a really good. He was such a gentleman. He made our day special.
Too.
Yeah,
he really did.
He really made our day that bit more special because he just let us go in there. And I mean, if you had been teenagers, you would have locked the door. I think it was only because we were all fat old people. You're not fat, but there's a lot of just old people about there. But I have fallen in love with this for the craft of putting 5 blades in and making it neat, tidy. It's just beautiful. You wouldn't see 5 blades in there, and it's only got 3 springs. Yeah. So that makes it, even more pocketable. But I would put it in a wee sheath. If I was going to a knife meeting, I could go in a wee sheath quite happily.
Absolutely.
Beautiful knife. Really do love that.
It's also beautiful to see a proper case properly done.
Yeah. I mean, all the cases we bought from them, there's no gaps in them at all. And they were all immaculate.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I bought 2 of them. Yeah, I bought a Stockman off them and this in the same pattern with the same that beautiful italic writing on there.
And I got the Sodbuster and the canoe that we do not mention in case Gus gets offended again.
He stole Gus's canoe. He did. There's just nothing more we can say. He just stole it.
I'm going to have to give him that one,
No, you're not that kind of a chap.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm a horrible person. But actually, speaking of Sodbusters, somebody was saying that they were really surprised. Yes, it was MBEDC really surprised by the Imperial Sodbuster for £10 for a fantastic value knife. And again, it's that stunning value, and you take the tenner out of your pocket and you get it and you go, well, what the hell? I mean, it's going to be crap, but I may as well have a look at it, take a punt. Then you get a knife that is a real cracker.
That's the joy of this.
Yeah.
this community. No matter what stage you're at, no matter if you just want a beater knife, it's just I would pay £2 more and get the large one because it's a monster knife.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real get it out in the garden and cut your weeds with it and do whatever. Beautiful knife. Steel's not the best in the world, but it cuts, it sharpens. Like I sharpened a knife on here the other day. I sharpened this one, and I showed you just how quick they are. I mean, the steel on this is better than what's on the Sodbuster, but you can literally sharpen these in 5 minutes. Once you get used, especially hand sharpening, get a good rough stone, sharpen it, and then just keep stropping it during the day, and it just lasts you all day long. Yes, you have to do a bit of work, but for 10 quid for a beater knife, can't beat it.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean, speaking of beaters, Ellen's just pointed out that Mora, it constantly surprises them that Mora can make knives for next to nothing.
Ridiculous.
When people are paying, are charging 6 times or 10 times the price, 20 times the price in some cases for a knife that doesn't perform any better.
Yeah, but here's the fact: Mora have years of proof that their knives last for years. Yeah. I mean, how often do you see a broken Mora? And they're probably the most abused knives on YouTube because people try to break them. Yeah. And you will break it. It's only a £6 knife.
Yeah, exactly.
But then chances are you're not going to break it in any use you're going to put it through that's legitimate use, whether it be hard or anything like that. They're just amazing. I still have my original one that I used all through my bushcraft. And then that was the time when I wouldn't have spent £20, £30 on a knife. So I had my Mora Robust, and it's still as good today as it was then. And every time I went out, I batoned with it. I stuck it in, I drilled holes in it for bull drills, never broke the tip on it. The Mora Robust was a wee bit thicker in the blade stock, but just fabulous. Can't say enough highly about Mora.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. See what happens when I mention that bloody canoe? Gadget appears. Gadget disappears.
Well done, mate.
Every time I mention that bloody canoe, Gus appears just to make me feel bad.
And look, and I know, like at what she said. Hope you're all good.
Oh, I know. You really feel the sincerity oozing out of him there. Gus, come on.
Gus, I was really glad to see you on here, buddy. I hope your recovery is going well.
Yes, absolutely. From both of us. From both of
lovely
us.
To see you.
And then this cheeky get Mikey Newman is bringing up another reference to that wee Bark River.
Oh,
that was a beautiful surprise, wasn't it, Mikey? And
Mikey, I'll trade you for that knife. I have loads that you would like. We can do mixtures of lights and multi-tools and all sorts. You should hit me up. I'll give you more than it's worth.
Mikey, you keep your hands on that wee knife. That wee knife is a thing of beauty. And more to the point, you promised me first refusal on him. So
I'd even trade you another wee beautiful. This is a
AT right?
This is an LT right. Beautiful little knife, but I just fancy a change. This is a beautiful LT right.
Oh,
same size.
He's just teasing now.
Comes in the most delicious, you'll never see a sheath as good as this. This is the sheath that it comes in. That I got. This is a sheath that got made for me, and I have fitted this into it. At the bottom, there's double thickness leather. So when you put it like this into the little sheath, you can poke it in the leather. It doesn't come out. And it's just beautifully to sit in your pocket. Look how thin.
Oh, you see.
So you could trade for another knife if you wanted.
See? You see? See what happens?
Oh, wouldn't Christmas come early?
Uh-huh. See? All right, there we go. I was stood one side of it. Is it? Don't feed into that. Don't feed into that. Gus, glad to hear it. Changing the subject quickly and bringing somebody in who
yeah, they've got you.
Moving on. Shut up, Mike. Shut up. So, absolutely. And it's everybody is glad to hear that Gus is doing well.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
So it's good to hear.
So anybody else got a knife that surprised them? Come on, boys, get a few up there. I haven't something that surprised you. Well, let Justin do his final one.
And this is a knife I keep on mentioning, and I just think this is a cracker. And this is an Olaf step. I think Olaf.
Yeah.
Olaf step. Yeah. Ostap hell. All the right letters, not necessarily.
Sounded good to me,
okay.
But I'm dyslexic.
Hell. So this is the real steel G-slip compact.
Oh, it's a G-slip.
Yeah, and I just love this knife.
I've had the Luna. I've not had the. Have I felt that in hand?
There you go. Oops.
Oh, lovely lockup.
Oh, isn't it?
Lovely, lovely lockup. I don't know, in a knife like this that's got just G10 handle, you're never going to get that sound, the closing sound.
But
there's nothing about it. But
look inside. Look inside the G10.
Is it just natural? No. There's some liners in there.
There's liners, the skeletonized steel liners.
Good gosh! But this is the important bit to me. Is that's nice.
Yeah.
You know, for a little, that's another office knife. Yeah, just
it's a pocket knife. It's a summer short knife.
Yeah,
because there's no weight in this,
and there's a good size blade, and
it's a lovely size blade. Again, it's in.
Blade. I think it's 2.5 or just.
I think it's a full 3.
Oh no, it's
just under.
It's about 2 7/8, and that's right up to the hilt.
Yeah.
So that's perfectly UK legal for whenever the law comes in, anyway. But
and the reason why it surprised me was, I mean, this is really just an alternative to a Swiss Army knife, effectively, single-bladed Swiss Army knife. But the beauty about it is, and I'd had a Luna. I got a Luna around about the same time as I got this, but I could not get on with the Luna. I could not get on with it. It felt light and fluffy.
You never make noises like that. That's tickled me now.
Yeah. It just felt really near and it just did nothing for me. And it was squishy, and you know, it was a perfectly good knife.
Yeah, they are. I just didn't like it myself.
No, I mean, I know Slippy loves a Luna. He's got Lunas coming out of his ears, but he's got a lot of the titanium.
Yeah, but Slippy is English.
English living in Wales. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's a perfect storm. So so when I came across the G-slip compact, I was kind of expecting the same sort of thing, but it's absolutely solid in hand because of the stainless steel liners. There's no flex, no give, nothing, and yet it's just a simple G10 handle. There's no weight in it whatsoever, and it is a thing of beauty. It really is. Yeah, perfect. It's that small, light,
useful, can do 99% of your day's work.
Look at how slim it is. So, I mean, the G-slip compact is right. It just slips into your pocket, disappears, and there's no weight. So when I'm running around in the summer, as I have been, in shorts or a pair of, jogging bottoms.
I thought you were going to say leggings, eh?
Almost.
And a tutu.
Real men wear jeggings, mate. Jeggings. So the G-slip compact, absolutely cracking knife. Cannot recommend it highly enough. I think it's a lovely wee knife. It's a lovely lockup. There's no squishiness in it, which is something that that does my head in. It's got that 3/4 stop as opposed to a half stop, and nice close as well. So absolutely perfectly summer knife.
MBEDC, the real feeling is a fantastic knife. We're only taking the mickey out of what's his face?
Slippy.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it is Slippy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is Slippy.
It is. Yeah. I put them out of my head from one week to the next.
You really, well, it doesn't take that much. I'm afraid to ask you something in case it pushes something useful in.
One of these days I'll say something useful.
Can we just have the witness for the defense before we move any further? Thank you very much. Thank you, Gus. Thank you. Yes, I was happy to. You were happy to give it to me.
Oh,
so I was like, you see that he wanted it even more.
You need to harden up, son. This is a nasty hobby. Harden up. Get wired into you. We'll back you up. Don't worry.
What do you mean you gave it to me, Gus? I saw it first.
See, he'll turn on you in a second.
Gus, you're a gentleman and a scholar, sir, and I will always hold you in the highest regard, but you're still not getting that commute. Thank you very much indeed, sir.
Oh, dear.
Mikey begs to differ, mind you.
Yeah, do the headlock.
Have you seen how big Gus is? Even ill, I couldn't take him, for crying out loud. The man was near to death, and I was still looking terrified. Good grief. So yes, Sean, you are absolutely 100% correct. He is a gent, and but MBEDC is completely right. I used my magic powers on him. It's like that scene from Puss in Boots. I just went, please, Gus. Nobody can resist it. So, But enough of this nonsense.
I believe, Mikey. Puppy dog eyes. Oh, trust me, they're not puppy dog eyes. I would put it down.
Not if you get close enough to them. They're
Right.
just pure evil.
My third and last knife is this, baby. This is the Hinderer 3.5 slicer. And this is a frame lock, but it is just the thumb stud. It's negative. We haven't got the, look at this. Oh, gosh. It doesn't have a flipper, which is why I wanted it. Oh, it doesn't have a flipper. It is stunning. Let me just turn that around to the right way. There you go. It is a stunning knife. You can see the slicer grind on it. So it's a little bit thicker here, and as it gets up, it thins out for going through boxes and whatever. It is a beast. We took it down the jungle with us when we went down the jungle traveling. You could just wire. I literally beat the snot out of this on a bit of wood just to see, checking the steel to see whether it was, heat treated well. Maybe that's not going to do that, but I really did whack it on a piece of wood to the fact that he was getting nervous. My arm was going to come off. This is a knife that exceeded everything I thought it would be. I have the wee Hinderer Slippy, which is my favorite. It's my dad's knife that I bought for him when he passed. But I got this big one thinking that will be too big. I'm not a big knife person. I don't have a whole lot of big knives. Most of mine are blades that are usually about 3 to 3 point. I've said 3 point. I don't say 3.25 inches long. See, I'm copying these people, all these whiz kids. 3.4 inches. There's no 3.4 inches. There's 3.25 inches if you want.
Well, I suppose it's probably the metric system is trying to infiltrate.
I don't like the metric.
What passes for your brain these days?
But honestly, this exceeded my expectations. You've dulled everything.
See, you pushed it out. Pushed out the useful stuff.
This exceeded everything I thought would be. It's just a big work knife. There's nothing pretty about it. It's just a solid big work knife. It just happens to be made by a designer. I love his works. This is on washers.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
This is on washers. It is just stunning. You just touch it, it drops, and then it's down. You tell me washers aren't good. When you get good washers put in a good knife, when it's well made, that's what you get. And this just shocked me that it was on washers. Yeah. Honestly, it really
it's a lovely knife. It's too big for my liking, but it's a beast.
It's too big for what I need.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a full hand. It's a nice full hand grip for me. A real meaty, good one of them grips.
Okay.
That was my mean face. But yeah, this was worth every penny. These are not cheap either, and it's worth but this is one of them, you save up for a knife or you sell something. Yeah. I sold something. This cost me my Sabenza. Oh,
so selling elegance for brutality. Yeah, there's one way to go.
I have a lot of elegance.
Oh, you do.
I will get.
It is a cracking knife. There's no taking away from it. But the build quality. I mean, we talk sometimes about overbuilt knives. This is a perfect example of an overbuilt knife.
Completely.
I mean, it's a tank. Really,
it is. I mean, look at the thickness of that. It is just beautiful, big, solid titanium on this side. Then you have titanium and these beautiful scales. They're so grippy. Your hand does not move when it's on them. I just love that. So that really surprised me because it was better than I thought it was going to be. Yeah. I know what Hinderer is like because I have my wee.
But you also took a real punt in terms of trading your Sabenza for it, which you love.
I love the Sabenza and I will get one again. But it's actually nearly harder to get one of these in the configuration you want because he makes that much. But there's an awful lot of flippers. People like flippers. The delete, well, this hasn't been deleted. This just came as a non-flipper. And that's why I went, no, it's only S35 VN. Again, the blade steel didn't matter to me when I was buying this. I don't even think I asked him what the blade steel, because it didn't matter. Because Hinderer does a good blade steel. Well, he doesn't do a bad one.
But this is why I'm laughing. It's good. It's S35 VN.
It is S35 VN. And it's perfectly, when I battered this, And I was chopping chunks
When
of
did
wood
we
off.
reach the point where S35VN we started
This year?
Yeah, really? Good grief.
I mean, it's just, but I have the smaller. This is the, let's just see the size
There's
comparison.
a real difference.
Oh,
Actually,
it's
isn't
like
it?
it's like its little brother. Look at the difference in size.
I mean, it's the same shape, form
Yeah,
factor, and
exactly.
everything, but it's just so much more.
And this was a slicey as well, so I got them matched. And I got, this wasn't the color that it came on. This
Put
came.
the edge on so that you can see the relative thickness.
Oh
across
yes,
the
sorry.
back.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean,
Look
it's
at
it's
look at the
unbelievable.
difference. But I mean, it's just, and this is every bit as good for its size as this is for this size. I mean, this will do anything I ever want. I don't need this, but by gosh, I love it. I take this out at night time, take it into the front room, and I can sit there for hours just doing this and getting to do as least as I can to get it to drop. You just get the other edge, and then you try to balance it. It's amazing. It's just super.
I'm going to stop you there.
All right.
Because apparently we're failing our punters.
All right.
I've had we've had a request that we need to stop ignoring, stop asking questions and then ignoring everybody. And I think you're 100% right. We've been talking an awful lot, so forgive us for that. So we're going to do a quick run through of all the knives.
I hadn't seen them.
We're going to do a quick run through of all the knives that you've been putting in here. First one we're going to start with is Dave W's Booker Barlow. There's been an awful lot of Bookers in around the airwaves of late. And I mean, I'm going to have to get myself a Booker at some point. I've been looking at them quite regularly lately. And I know Stephen is a big fan of the Booker Barlows.
Yeah, I love the Booker Barlows. This is a very old one I've got. Look at that. Oh, look at the shield, not the shield, the bolster there. The lovely old tree on it. This is a fairly old one. I would say, I think it's probably 60s or whatever. Again, I'm not a great. There you go. Look at that. That's on both sides. It's just beautiful. There's still plenty of blade on it. It's just a beautiful knife.
Lovely action still on it.
At that age, yeah. And then this is just the typical little small Booker Barlow, which are for an EDC carry. I just think this is just perfect.
Oh, I love that one.
It's a beautiful. This one's in the brown micarta. I think this was a
and it's a proper
expedition or something. Yeah,
it's a proper Barlow with the full third.
Yeah,
all the way up.
I mean, don't forget this shape of Barlow. This was Booker that brought this to the world. I mean, Booker were making knives, you know, not long after Sheffield. They were knocking out knives that were they've got hundreds of years, and Booker had been making these knives for just since when did Booker start? Booker was the 1800s, wasn't it? They started.
Well, you're asking
maybe even before, maybe 1700s. Yeah, maybe even 18th century. But they've been making, and their Bookers, their Barlows are very plain. If you see that Barlow there, it's got nice straight edges, but it doesn't have any swedges and things like that. It does have the beautiful long pull, which I love. But their Barlows are very sort of plain. Let me just show my point. Here's another. Oh, this is a fancy pants Barlow. Oh, here. Yeah, no, I'll do this one. There you go. In fact, I've got here. Why don't I just show the Arthur Wright Barlow?
Absolutely.
And this was a difference in Barlows, and it has been all along. One's a slim little Barlow, and you can see the meat on the top of the Arthur Wright. That was the more traditional type British Barlow. And the Booker Barlow is probably near to the American, what the Americans took, because Booker was selling to America. Yeah. And Booker actually had a facility in America for making the Booker knives at one stage. That's where that first one came from. That's an American-made Booker. So the shape of these is a bit slimmer than the stocky Arthur Wright.
Arthur Wright, yeah. You can definitely see the difference. Okay, moving on. We've got the QSP Parrot. And I have to say I've had a Penguin. I haven't had the Parrot. And I don't think you can go wrong with QSP. I mean, QSP and Civivi and any number of other ones. What's the one starting K?
Kaiser.
They do some fantastic locking knives, one-handed openers, flippers, and whatever else. And the action is always first.
It was knife. The Kaiser was a knife a year last night for me for budget knife.
Yeah, that was not the T1 or
the T1. Yeah,
it was fantastic. But the QSP Parrot, lovely knife. Now, the Pyrite always loses me. I know I've seen the CJRB Pyrite, but I can't picture it.
Once I start looking at Kaisers and some of them other brands, After I've seen a couple of them, they blend.
Yeah.
And that's just me. But they do tend to blend. There's not that much difference in them. You know, they make 17 bottle locks.
and it's impossible to keep up
Yeah,
with all of them.
and you, why would you want to?
Yeah.
I want something different. And my next, when I buy something from a company, I then want the next different thing, which Civivi do, and why they have so many knives out there.
But I mean, it'd be interesting to know, Alan, why was it that it surprised you? What is it that surprised you? I mean, and the same for Tony's Ponies. I mean, I would agree with you 100% about the Dragonfly. I think it's a fantastic. It's one of my favorite fifth pocket knives, if not my favorite.
I bought your old one.
Yeah,
this year. It was the first Dragonfly I've ever had, and yes, I think it's an amazing. This is what I would call a shorts.
Yes, totally.
You know, very much a shorts. I got this is just the basic one with VG10.
The lightweight.
Yeah, I love it. The lightweight. It's just perfect. Again, I can get 4 fingers now. I'm tight, but I can get 4 fingers on there and still do quite a bit of work with this.
And it's absolutely cracking. Then what we got? Yes, Alan. Yes, you need a Dragonfly in your life. I think I saw a Dragonfly on the Night Trading Forum on Facebook.
There was, and it was actually a very good one. It was the
the one that
K390 on it?
It was the K390. That's right.
K390, which is the maiden blade. And
this close. This close.
People, I was
going for something stupid like that.
Yeah, it was a really good price. I think I offered a trade for it, but I just didn't want to spend any money because I want this knife. Because I want till after Christmas. I want to buy this knife. Don't know what this knife is.
I mean, even talking about the hedgehog, the QSP hedgehog was a cracker.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely right. Jason Glover's just saying that he got 2 G slips, one my card and a 5K. Oh, very nice. Now I'm talking about the G slip compact, which I think is a slightly smaller knife, so it comes into the UK legal side of things. Because the full G slip, it goes in just over the 3 inches, which is why it hasn't been, or wasn't for me at the time, an option in terms of what I bought, because I was trying to keep it legal. But I have to say that the option for titanium or micarta would be absolutely fantastic, just for the feel in hand. MB loves his Luna, absolutely. Now we're going down through a few more. Yeah, we've got Sean who loves the Rosecraft Awanata. And he's saying that he's surprised by its capability for the price.
One of the
size.
One of the biggest surprises. When you look at this, it looks like a little cheap keyring knife. That's exactly what it looks like. You know, it doesn't. There's nothing fancy about it. But this is one of the most. And who was
Sean.
it? Sean had it exactly right. Listen to this. And that's in a knife that costs £26 over here.
It's ludicrous, isn't it?
And it's got
D2
steel, and it's like I can just get 3 fingers on it. But to be honest with you, I don't need the 4th. It's quite happily just completely off here. I don't need it. The grip on this, you try that.
It's fantastic. It's a lovely big knife.
It's just super.
But it's the depth and the meat on the blade, as we were saying.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a good piece of depth to blade. The's nothing
it's about the same size of a blade that you'll get on a Victorinox compact.
Absolutely.
But the depth,
not a wee bit more.
Yeah, the depth is just so much. That's what does it. And it's nicely fine ground, but it will do anything.
Yeah, it's a lovely sheep's foot kind of thing going on.
Detailed work is just a speciality.
Slice. Very nice.
But indeed. I agree with you, Sean. This I wanted to make this my knife of the year, to be honest with you, and I thought, Stephen, that's going to sound silly. And that's exactly what I thought. It's going to sound silly because it's a £26 knife, but do you want to know something? It would rival anything I've bought this year for the quality and what you're getting.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. It will rival anything I bought as a tool.
That's very true.
Absolutely love it.
Absolutely.
Listen to that. The walk and talk of that wee.
And it's outstanding. It's and no liners or anything. It's just got a lovely
G10.
Lovely thing. Gadget's just saying that he's just pointing out that lovely snub nose clip by the South African guys at the
you can eat. They're quite easy even in the secondary market. I bought this one off Congi, but Congi sells a lot of them of his knives. It's MDK.
Oh man, Michel Duplessis, is it?
Michael Duplessis.
There you go. That's a cracker.
And nicely sharpened by a very brave Paddy who took this on.
Gus, that was a very good one because that one surprised you.
I love this.
I know, but it surprised you when you bought it, didn't it?
There was blade wrap on it.
Exactly.
And
£250 knife and it had blade wrap from a designer and it had blade wrap.
And that wasn't for I got this in the secondary market, but it was how bad the blade wrap was. It had actually crumpled up. It was so over, and it is a surprise. Now, things escape people. I know that, and a lot of people will close their expensive knives like this. And if you're in the habit of doing that, whether you're but I always think you should be able to
let it go, let it close naturally.
Close naturally, and then you like me. I'm panicking now. Have I done anything?
He's going to be looking at that for a while.
But not the slightest wee drop of blade wrap.
No, it's good. It's good to know that.
Yeah, I had to take it up. It fixed itself. I just panicked, but I actually carry and use this now without fear.
But I suppose that's the flip side of the topic that we chose for tonight, is that knives can surprise you both ways. I mean, you can expect a certain degree of quality and satisfaction from a knife, especially if you're spending a certain amount of money on it, and then be disappointed at the end of the day. It's a surprise, and that can often affect the way that you look at whether or not you buy another one from the same maker or for the same or of the same style or whatever else. So the surprise factor can be positive as well as negative. I mean, we've chosen to go positive because it's always a little bit more fun, but it shouldn't be.
I've had plenty of negative experience. I mean, there's somebody who contacted me the other day, said he bought one of the Arthur Wrights and he could barely open it, and I had to say to him, yeah. I mean, just a little bit of research will tell you that most of these are anywhere from, I think the weakest is probably 7, but this one is 9.5, and I'm serious, it's 9.5. I have incredibly strong nails, and this one, to open it with my nail nick, that is everything to get that open. In fact, I think I'm the wrong one. Either that or it's starting to wear in.
Never know.
This is the one.
This is the one.
This is the one. You might hear a cry.
Oh, it's the lamb's foot. Holy macaroni.
Try opening that.
I don't want to.
I mean, I have really strong nails and they're short at the minute.
No, that just won't come for me.
It's so difficult to get that open. So I can agree with people. And what you do then is...
By the way, if anybody says that's what she said in the comments, I'm going to have it.
Just get anything. If you carry a pry bar with you, but you can buy the little Rough Rider and their nail nick openers, and it's simple matter of just putting it into the nail nick, forcing it in, and then just pulling up with the other side of the finger, and you can open it easy. So just anything that's got, I would suggest buying the wee Rough Rider one. I have a GEC one somewhere, and there's never blade wrap on them, but you just poke it in. And the nice thing, this is Arthur Wright always have deep nail nicks. And that's the reason, because they're always strong. Now this is just incredibly strong. That other one I just
stronger than the Lanny's clip I got you last year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's mad.
Yeah. I mean, I opened the Lanny's clip and that's tight, but I mean, it's not
like that.
But once you use that wee tool in there, it just makes it so much easier. He's just going to prove to you. Put the clip in and then force down on it. There you go. Isn't that? There you go. Tip for the day. Get a wee nail clipper if you've got a deer knife. Huh? The micarta is beautiful on it. Very nice indeed. So head over to Twisted Assisted if you want any of them. But there has been a couple that have been just dogs to open. And again, it's simple fact. Just get a wee. I mean, there's one on Heine do one from Rough Rider. I think it's about £5 or £6.
Dave, I told you. I told you.
Aye.
Tony, we've got a question.
Okay.
What is your knife pet hate? Mine is one-sided scales because it looks cheap.
That doesn't bother me now, I have to say. But I can understand why you would want it. That's more in the, in this, the Hinder, you have titanium on one side and then you have G10 on the other. Doesn't bother me. I can go either way because simply with the same company and the same sort of knife, there's a perfect way of doing it. The Slippy has blue on one side and blue on the other. So, I mean, I love that as well. So I never even thought of it like that. It's just, there's two from the same company, and it doesn't matter. But I can understand. And do you know what? It doesn't matter what. If it annoys you, it will always annoy you.
Should I tell you what my pet hate is? Squishy slip joints.
Squishy slip joints. Yeah, I can.
I can't get behind squishy slip joints. And I mean by squishy, I mean
soft, mushy ones.
Mushy on when they're locked. Now that doesn't have the best. That doesn't have the tight. I mean, that's a very light pull open, so you would almost expect it to be squishy. But actually, it's got a very good lockup.
It does. I have no agree with you. Yeah. The Luna didn't have that.
No, the Luna didn't have it, and I don't like. I don't like squishy slip joints, and I don't like double detents.
I go 100%. I mean, at first I thought when I got one that was quite stiff, I thought, yeah, that's all right. But you see, after about 2 weeks, it started loosening and it started getting so much, and it put me off.
Yeah.
And it's not that I keep saying it, and it's the truth. It's not that I'm frightened of it closing on me when I'm using it. It's just the feel of opening it and closing it. I have no fear of cutting myself for the one. I mean, a friction folder. I love a friction folder. It'll just slam on you if you use it wrong.
Yeah.
But no, it's just that doesn't feel
right.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Sean's agreeing with me, but I mean that's only natural because I'm right. And Emmy was just saying that the clips on a knife just seem wrong. Depends on the knife. I mean, honestly, I think the clip on the G-Slip Compact works really, really well, even though it's a slip joint. So it shouldn't sort of typically have a clip, whereas clips seem to be the sort of domain of locking knives.
I'm trying to think of a one that does annoy me. When you buy an expensive knife, it doesn't come sharp. Now, I can sharpen, so that's never a problem. I can sharpen it and get it to whatever I want, and usually it's just a wee quick touch up because it's just had a zit, and it's done. But you see the ones that come that are sharp, I get such a pleasure out of them. That adds to the initial thing. Like a Jack Wolf would cut you in two. You don't have to do anything to it. Yeah. So, and it's perfectly ground. I've never had one with a high ground or a low ground. They might be the slightest bit off, but it's finished to a scalpel.
Yeah. We were setting, it was funny, we were setting an assignment for the course I was delivering today, and we were setting an assignment, and we were just explaining the marking scheme for it, and we were saying, like 10% of the marks is down to run a spell checker on it, so there's not glaring spelling mistakes, check your punctuation, make sure that you put it in the paragraph, i.e. write the assignment the right way that you should do. Okay. Basically, what we're saying is, take
a bit of pride in what you do.
Take a bit of pride in what you do. Exercise a bit of care.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying about. I'm spending £200 on a knife, and you can't even be arsed to sharpen it.
Yeah, it does.
No.
And again, it's not that I can't sharpen, and I will enjoy sharpening it. I just think that there's a threshold, and I'm trying to put a price on what a threshold. Anything over £100, I expect to be sharp
and well sharp.
Well sharp, done well.
Yeah.
Even bevels, the whole lot.
Yeah.
And I don't like. This is a working man's knife, made in the old traditional way, by hand, by humans, not tradesmen, just humans who are taught to do a job. They're artisans nearly. It's not. They do it. This is their job in doing it. And they literally just give you a line to follow. That's basically all they're doing. They're giving you an edge to follow. And because they haven't got the time, the price they're selling this for, 38 quid. They don't have time to do fancy sharpening sessions. And I accept that.
Yes. But once it goes above a certain threshold.
Once you get up to 50, 60 pound, companies like this are putting others to shame, because Rosecraft, every one I've had so far, including the 26 pound cheapie, has come in razor sharp, and the fit and finish is good.
Yeah. And how many times have we heard people say that case knives and even GEC knives as well don't come sharp?
Yeah,
it's a disappointment. Baron's got another thing. He hates faux anything, and he hates advertising and promoting on promotional material on it if it adds a premium to the price of it. you know. So,
Tiny-
oh yeah, the faux stuff. Yes, passing off aluminium for titanium, yeah, and plastics versus bone.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that would drive you up the wall. Then Sean was saying blade play. Blade play is sort of like the sort of little brother
I think
of,
everybody hates blade
of
play.
squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I do. I can't have
Everybody hates blade play.
it.
Now, I think that here's the difference with a traditional knife. Get a hammer, whack it. It cures
You
it.
keep on telling me this.
Yeah, all
you
you
keep
do
on
is
telling me this.
you
But
get
I
a little bit of leather, just wrap it around. I have a little bit sitting over there that I wrap around this, or if I had to do this, you just wrap it, put it in the edge of the vise, the back of your vise, and it's perfectly flat. Set it there, hammer, dink,
bang.
check it, see if it works. If not, turn it over the other side, dink, check that it works, and just you don't have to go, yeah. No, you're not a ninja. It's just a good sort of you're just dropping the hammer down from there. And just do it until it stops it. And it's because you don't want to go too far, because then the knife is grinding up against the side of the bit. But I'd rather have it grinding than have blade wobble.
Play. Yeah, no, I quite
So yeah,
agree with
it
you.
can be easy fixed with traditionals.
Right, I'm bringing my 49 round next time, and you're fixing it for me.
Because I find a lot of again modern knives when you can adjust them with the screws and the bolster. But some of these knives, I find it nearly impossible to get them centered. You have to do Houdini tricks to get them to do it.
Yeah, too bad. So we've got a number of people saying about weak blade weak blade play, blah, blah, and faux or fake materials, especially when it's being passed off. I think that's the main thing. Being passed off as something else, and 2 to 400. And yes, Elan's agreeing that he's bought knives that in the £200 to £400 or dollar range.
Yeah,
that need sharpened.
Yeah,
that's just wrong.
There's the Jack Wolf. I like this is just the like Kieranite, which is like kitchen countertop sort of thing that Kieranite used a lot for. But this is beautiful. It's not bone. It's not a seashell. It's just beautiful. So yeah, there is lovely plastic, or I'm not even sure if Kieranite is plastic, but I would say it is formed.
It is a sort of form of plastic. And actually, Kieranite, I was on the phone to Dan the other day, and he was asking if I wanted some Kieranite for a knife.
That's right. Seen it, the red one.
The red one he did for Slippy,
and
it was just amazing. But I've asked for the same red, and I'm going to send him a compact Victoria to put it on, because I don't have one of his open peened ones, and I think it would be lovely.
Yeah,
absolutely gorgeous.
There's another plastic one. That's a GEC one. Look at the colors on that. It's like a rock from the seaside. That's the acrylic, but it's just beautiful. And when it's done well and you're told what it is, they can be beautiful. But I agree with you. Just tell us the truth. It's like telling us Rockwell Hard. Just tell us a bloody truth.
Yeah. And I mean, we've got Don C coming back with an alternative to the hammer, which is the clamp with the twist head. So pressure added slowly to tighten up the thing. Whatever works, absolutely. Yeah, I agree, Sean. That's definitely the more refined version, as opposed to the God of Thunder here with his magic hammer. Thrifty's agreeing, of course, with me, because he's got good sense. Is that sort of weak pull on a especially a working knife.
It's disappointing, isn't it? Yeah. It's disappointing. It doesn't affect the knife working, but it is disappointing when you just know it's there. I'll go and pick a stronger bone to take out for it work.
Absolutely.
Yet the other knife's perfectly good to do it, but they wrecked it by just not putting any pull on it.
Any kind of pull on it. And this is why, I mean, for me, anything, I know it's all subjective in terms of how you measure the pull, but anything lower than a 6 for me, I find slightly disappointing in terms of
I can go on a bigger knife, maybe 5 would be about my lowest, and then
you're getting
I'm getting worried.
I prefer more pull than less.
Yeah, I would. I mean, to be honest with you, 78 would be my perfect pull.
Yeah,
I like a stiff pull,
as the actress said at the beginning.
Shake your mother.
But anyway, guess how long we've been talking?
I have no idea.
We've been talking for nearly an hour and a half.
Have we?
So
that's the longest.
These guys, I mean, apart from the ones that are still twitching, most of them will have slipped into a coma by now. So
Or they're mentally affected for the rest of their week.
I think they're scarred, Stephen, beyond all
But hey,
redemption or
thank you
saving.
so much for joining in again.
And
We
for
had
sticking
thoroughly
with
enjoyed
us.
last week and this week. I know we missed the questions there for a wee bit because we get carried
Forgive
away.
us for that.
Forgive us, but we did. I think we hit everybody in the end. We got everybody's question, and we want to do more of this. We want to hear you joining in because that makes it for us. It really does. This is our day of the week. This is our happy day.
This is our happy day, and absolutely, and it's been an absolute pleasure to
It
share
really
it with you
has.
folks. So just don't tell me it's Asian abalone. That's Kieran Knight. Asian abalone. I've never heard it called that, but from now on, that's what I'm going to call it. Thank
But
you,
you'll see,
Baron.
I mean, they got that full abalone. Like Rough Rider do it. And for what they tell you it's full, it's, but for what they do, it looks all right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like, so long as they're upfront about it,
Yes,
they're not
no,
particular, and so long as they're not overcharged.
There's some
for it.
beautiful plastic knives.
Yeah,
I mean, when you go back when they were doing the original ones in that plastic that blows out.
Oh yes, the cellulite.
The cellulite.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
they have
cellulose.
some
Cellulose.
beautiful cellulose. They had some really beautiful
Yeah.
knives in the swirl pattern, the 60s sort of vibe. They were beautiful, and then they blew out and wrecked all your knife box.
Yeah, exactly.
But there we go.
Thanks a million for joining us again. We'll wrap it up there, if only because I haven't been home to see my family yet today. So it's been an absolute delight.
It really has, yes.
And I think you're right, Stephen. We'll revisit this in maybe 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. Yeah.
What surprised you recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. Yeah.
And as I say, Thrifty, you're on there at the minute, so we're going to give you a call and see if you can make it next week with Slippy. And then the week after, we're going to see if we, or the couple of weeks after, we're going to see if we can get Randy and Mikey
before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I can't believe that it's coming so fast.
Because to be honest with you, not that everybody isn't special, but this year it's been lovely to see the growth of Randy, his channel, and Mikey was so good to us going over to that show.
Absolutely.
He made that show incredibly special, and for no other reason. I mean, the rest of you are all amazing, but just this year we want to get them. There are 2 for the special people for Christmas to say.
We love you all equally, but Randy and Mikey are our favorites. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next week. Same time, same place.
All the best, folks.
Yeah, take care. Thanks, Justin.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye now.
And we're out.